we're just going to go straight to the point because let's be honest, we're busy gals. Okay, slide. Okay, just a quick intro for those who may not know me or may know of me, but really don't know like my background. So I am a creative branding expert. I'm an identity upgrade kind of galley, and I'm also a business mentor. I have had 20 years experience in television, media, television shows, massive media productions. And then also I've moved into public relations as well. So that's where my storytelling comes through. I launched Crocs in New Zealand back in the heyday. I've done, yeah, I know. That was when it wasn't cool. That's embarrassing, eh? I was trying to get Crocs on celebrities and they were like, oh, hell to the no. Now I'm like, I was like 20 years too early.
Anyway, you're ahead of your time, babe.
Okay, absolutely. Like now I see them on every kid and every human, and I'm like, the girl tried. Anyway, so you can say that I'm very much a trendsetter. I'm at the lead of brands. So I also am a professional photographer. I've taken photos at fashion weeks, for front covers of magazines. Also in my spirituality world, I am a Reiki practitioner. I do really feel very connected to like Mother Earth, just the universe, manifestation, anything like that, that really just fuels my soul. I've also got a Bachelor of Communication Studies, a postgraduate certificate in business admin. So yeah, love a good study and qualification. And I've also studied my master's in law and prison reform. So that's something I really love, giving back to the community and also really understanding the highs and the lows of human experience. Yeah, I'm a bit of a geek like that. So here is a bit about me. So I've also created the Muse magazine. So stepping up a bit earlier. So I created my own magazine from start to end. So from photography to writing to everything that's in there is as I've created it. Also, because I was a talent agent for 6 years, I pioneered the social influencer industry in New Zealand. So I aligned with brands like CoverGirl, Mekala, Sephora. I traveled to the States to launch this Sephora. Did a Melbourne tour for Meccaland. So this is when they were really catching on to the Coachella essence of trying to make the brands and giving the brands experiences. So I got to work with my dear friend Shannon XO. She's got over 9 million followers on social media. She was the leader in beauty on YouTube, and we traveled globally to launch global brands. And that meant I got to meet Katy Perry as well as part of a CoverGirl experience. These are my own photos. So these are covers for my friend's magazine. And then also Rupi Kaur. She's a beautiful poet. She's got 6 million followers. She's very much an activist. Gorgeous poet. Got to meet her last year. So I always love getting in rooms and being with big energies, which means that I can bring it to people who are wanting to create a vision and wanting to bring their purpose to life. I'm able to be like, okay, let's vision this out and let's fucking do it. You know, like I'm very much a doer because I'm like, who wants to play? Who wants to play with me? Like, come on, like let's go over here. Like, yes, 100%. So that's the vibe. That's my vibe. And so qualifications, because they say that's, it's good to have. But also I just wanted to show you because, as entrepreneurs and as people, like we love a good qualification. Like until we get enough qualifications, we'll be good enough. And so I just want to know and let you know that I have been there and I'm there. Like without a qualification, will I ever be enough? Will I be enough to share my guidance or my advice? And so it's like, but then also it has its detriment in the sense that you might always be the student and never the teacher. So I just want to let you know that I'm with you. Like, I am right there. Give me another qualification. Like a knowledge broker, like Tony Robbins and Dean Graziosi. That is the most intense course ever. Holy tacos, they just yell at you for like hours. So yeah, I'm very much understand the feminine, but also the masculine way of learning. So I'm wildly passionate about creating aligned branding experiences for leading female entrepreneurs who have big visions. And even if it's that vision, like, I see myself on a stage internationally talking about something, I want to share this, I want to write a book. I'm actually just feeling like my story is so worthy of being shared, right? So that's when I come in and I support with branding, marketing, socials, business accountability, and nervous system regulation. Because you want to build your brand with integrity, right? So this is where it's like, hey, do you feel stuck? Because you got your personal brand, right? You're like, I'm online, feeling kind of, I get a bit of like, yeah, get it done. You're online, and then you're like, and then you like pull the brakes and you get out of the car. You're like, I don't want to drive that car. Like, I'm going to maybe walk. And this is when you walk and like, maybe I'll get another qualification because that'll help. And then eventually I'll get back in that car, but I'm going to walk. So, it doesn't make you feel inspired. You can lose flow, you can feel stuck, but you're so determined, right? Because the vision keeps coming back and your purpose keeps getting bigger, and the car is like sitting in the driveway. And you're like, am I willing to get into it? So, like I said before, the qualifications, however, you have all of the qualifications, however, not feeling good enough yet. And that is really a theme for the subconscious, because we'll always have subliminal layers of doubt, fear, shame, and unworthiness. Also, if you're moving through big changes within your business, or you've come from a, for example, corporate world, and suddenly you've really changed tack, like you've left a big job that was always your identity, and it's like, how do I show up in line now? Like, will people accept me? Will I be judged? And so it can feel so incredibly heavy. And the longer you leave it, the bigger the boulder gets. And that can be very hard because the boulder gets bigger and you haven't done your weight training. So y'all just being like dragged down. Okay, so I wanted to start talking about the 3 things that will help you to like lift the boulder. And the first one is foundation. Because without foundation, it's like anything, it's like a tree without its roots. We really need to get clear on what your like why is again. And sometimes your why changes. And that's okay. Like, I feel like people like, no, but my values are this. It's like, well, we're evolving, hon. Like, you've got to really feel into, right? Yeah, like that's me. Your foundation is moving, and it's like anything. You're not still wearing the clothes you wore in high school because you've evolved, and actually reviewing your foundation, your values, and what your real purpose is. So, am I here to people please? Hey, Estelle. Am I here to people please? No, like, am I here to share my story? Am I here to inspire? Am I here to help people? Like, when you get your foundation right and you realize in your heart and your soul that your purpose is bigger than you, that hits differently. Like, we have to reframe that my mission is bigger than me and I'm just the conduit. So get out of my own freaking way, get clear on my foundations, get clear on my values, and then really start to nestle that into your nervous system. So your nervous system won't be able to recalibrate without the clear instruction. And so your nervous system will probably go through a bit of a, because it's like, whoa, we're not like, you just called something in that's massive. Like, how is my nervous system ready for this? And so when you get clear on your values and your foundation, you will go through a bit of a breakthrough. And it's usually the breakdown before the breakthrough. And every time I go through a breakdown, I'm like, no, not again. I'm like, why me? But it's like, I forget that it's the breakdown for the breakthrough. And it's your nervous system rewriting your narratives, you know. And so foundation work in regards to your nervous system, that's why I highly recommend if you've got, because it's one thing on the physical body. So if you're working out, really moving that energy and starting to like physically get it out of your body. Breath work is fantastic. There's heaps of, which is cool. It's very trendy now. Breath work. So you get it off your heart and you breathe it off your chest. And then also energy work is the cheat code of life. Like any kind of energy work where you're able to either drop into some Reiki or someone that's able to give you that energy. It's like, we are energy. And people don't really actually take that into account. They're like, okay, cool, you know, but that's why I love, you know, even massage, because that's energy. It's moving it out of you and it's somatically moving it out. And so we want to really harness the energy and actually go, okay, cool. Like, and also at the same time, energy is the same as getting a haircut, getting your nails done. Like, it is also energy because you're either cutting it off, you're clearing energy on your nails, you're bringing in fresh energy, and it changes up the game. So every time I work with clients, they either get their hair cut, they get their hair colored. One woman, bless, she got pink hair. She was like, okay, cool, I got pink hair, that's the brand. And I was like, what have we done? But it looked so good. She had like this cool flowing waterfall fringe and this cool bun. And I was like, I love this for you. Like, it is very much an activation of your personal self, reflecting those values in the foundation that you actually really want to be, really who you want to be, instead of who you should be. For example, I work in a business office, so I wear a business suit, you know, and it's really kind of prescribed. Whereas you are the foundation, so you can start to set your own principles. And those principles are, you know, why would you create a job? Like, you create a lifestyle for you with your values. And that also comes through your personal brand. Because when people meet you, they're like, oh, cool. Like, the more you shine, the people you attract will be able to find you. If you're not shining, people can't find you. You might as well be in a cave or a dark hole. But the more you shine and you open, which can be very vulnerable, it's like you become the lighthouse to attract those who really are so keen to work with you and are so inspired to just align with you and be in your energy, right? So foundation is key. We want to create a tree. We're creating a deep-rooted, beautiful oak tree that's actually going to create a really beautiful reputation for yourself, and it's long-term energy. I think one thing with building personal brands, it's like, okay, cool, I'll just get a quick photo shoot. And I'm like, no, it's like, okay, cool, photo shoots are great as well, don't get me wrong, but like, it's like, what is the long-term plan? Where are we going with this tree? Like, oh, like, this is a stepping stone to the bigger vision. And we want to just really enjoy the process as well. So foundation is key. Nervous system. Energy work is like the bee's knees. Especially, like, who doesn't love a massage? Like, come on, guys. Like, let's just get back into our bodies, because as entrepreneurs, we can get so heady. And you'll start to get, you know, migraines or headaches or any kind of like ailments they're just frustrating because you want to work harder. But sometimes it's fine. It's beautiful, the rest in your soul, and just to like have a nap. So that's number one. Number two is the evolution, and to evolve. So this comes down to, I'm not too sure if anyone's familiar, but there's like the 7 stages of grief. And it's kind of like that. We have to grieve our old selves and come to the final step, which is acceptance. And go, okay, cool. I'm willing to accept that I have evolved. I'm no longer this size. I'm no longer that galley. Oh, I'm this woman now. And I'm going to step into her power. You know, like I'm not the yes girl. I'm not the people pleaser girl. I'm not the, I mean, you can still be the life of the party, but, like there's been labeling and identities that have been placed on you growing up. Like, oh, she's the funny girl or anything like that. But it's actually so beautiful to really accept and go, I'm ready to evolve. And go, what does she look like? What does she feel like? What does she actually enjoy? So one of the key things that I've learned personally was there were certain things that brought me joy. And suddenly they stopped. And I was so sad. I was like, none of this is bringing me joy. I thought I'd be happy. And then what happened was that I had to find new things that brought me joy. And it's because I knew in my soul I had evolved, and that old self was trying to cling onto the old happiness. And I was like, just stop, because I'm trying to force happiness now. And I realized that's not what brings me joy. And I had to accept that and find things that brought me joy and did more of that. And that meant I had to go out and try new things. I was like, okay, let's do new things. And that's okay, because new is where the gold is. People, it's the definition of insanity is you want a different, oh, hi Noodle, you want a different result, but by doing the same thing. It's like, no, if you want a different result, you got to do something new, whether that's a new haircut, whether that's a new outfit, whether that's a new walking location, or like try getting out of your comfort zone. So I highly recommend just embrace the evolution and accept that this is going to be different and it's going to be new. And because of that, you'll need to make bold moves. And those bold moves could be, legit trying a new dinner if you keep eating the same thing. Bold move could be adding a potato instead of the rice. Like, I know she's bold. Getting a new plant, anything like that. Everyone's different, right? But just doing something different, making bold moves, doing the things you've always wanted, but said maybe one day, and it's like maybe the one day needs to be today. And it could be something little, like I wanted this hair clip. Actually, no, the hair clip's not here. However, I was like, one day I'll get it. And I didn't get it because I don't know why. It's either I didn't feel worthy of it, or I was like, I've got many hair clips at home. Anyway, I went to this event and I saw this woman had the hair clip. And I was like, today is my day. Like, I'm going to get that hair clip. And I did. And I felt it was good because I'm doing something new. It was bold. But instead of putting things off, get the hair clip. I've always wanted this candle, actually, something I prepared earlier. It's from my favorite store in Island Lux in Byron Bay. And it's like a cathedral candle. And I've always wanted it. And I walked in and I walked out and walked in and walked out, But eventually I got the candle, and that's my bold move. So the idea is that I'm not saying, go and sing karaoke in front of, a group of 100 people. You totally can. And some moves can be so minor, whether it's clearing out old clothes to make new for a new, lighting the candle that you haven't lit because it's like a decorative, like just do it. Just do it. Like live bold. Go big. So we really want to really feel into that evolution. Who does she actually want to be? Stop playing small, and accept and make some bold moves. Is it making that call to someone that you're like, maybe they don't want to work with me, or like, or sending that text, you know, like actually feel the fear and move. So that's my number 2, is how to build your personal brand, is that you actually have to evolve, accept her and all her brilliance, and actually like do it for her. Do you know what I mean? Like, she didn't work this freaking hard to get where she is now to just be like, hey, we're gonna stay the same. Like, are you kidding? After 700 qualifications, after working your ass off, after like working, just learning so much, you're just gonna go, okay, you know what? I give up. Like, we're just gonna stay in plateau. Like, your soul and your mission deserves so much more, and is so worthy of that as well. So evolve, feel her, love her unconditionally. So then that way, actually, here we go. This is my evolution story. Gosh, you guys are lucky. Here we go, guys. Welcome to my life. Because I think one thing, you know, it's like, oh yeah, you evolved. You know, I went to high school, got a degree, blah, blah, blah. But like, bro, I evolved. So this is me. Okay, so I'm 26. I left my job. I was like, I'm no longer going to be a talent agent. And mum, dad, hey, why are you leaving your good job? It's a great job. And I was like, no. I packed my duffel bag and went traveling for 5 months in Europe with no, like, one-way ticket and no plans other than a retreat in Sweden. The Sweden retreat got me there. And then I was like, what? Like, I was sitting at this retreat in Sweden going, where do I go to next? Like, I had to book a ticket. So I got a train. I couldn't read any of the language. Like, thank goodness for phones. And I just got on this train. It ended up in Copenhagen. Anyway, long story short, my bestie Assad in London, he just held my hand because he was my pit stop every time. Like, I'd go to Rome, I'd end up in Croatia for 2 months. I'd go back to his place, be like, Merry Christmas. So that was my evolution. And also my sister-in-law was diagnosed with breast cancer that year. So I was like, girl, I'm going to shave my hair off. I had not only an identity of my job and my profession just, you know, stripped away, also my technical beauty was stripped away as well. So my whole physical identity, I was walking through Rome and I thought, what have I done? Like, I'm bald in Rome. I was, you know, eating my gelato and no one needed me or wanted me. Like, my ego was so bruised because I was constantly needed, you know? So this is my evolution of self-love, moving back into the world, connecting back with friends, because I'm like, hey, I've kind of had a massive like upheaval, Saturn return, like, how's your baby kind of energy. I moved to the Gold Coast, did a beautiful shoot with my friend Bia. And I felt there was this new energy coming through in regards to like my business and where I wanted to take it. This was me, my hair's now growing. I'm kind of softening into this woman, because at this stage where I did this photo shoot with my sexy leopard, I was managing 2 online schools. So I was more of a business, like operations manager and a general manager for a sexuality school and a womb school. So I was like in my like managing role, but I was like, that's not where I want to be. So I evolved again, I softened, and I started to just do Jeweler Creative full time. So yeah, so that's like, but through these phases, I'm dying, like physically, emotionally, mentally. You know, I ended a lot of friendships that weren't serving me. I no longer speak to my dad because of I don't accept, and I won't accept his behaviors moving forward, because I really am learning to trust and grow as my own sovereign being. So thank you for that's a little bit of my life story. Here I am now. Yay. She got through. So I'm just letting you know the evolution, you will come through and it will feel like everything's breaking down, but the universe is working for you, not at you. Like, it's working in miraculous ways, but it also means it depends on what your intention is. So if your intention is to good in this world, to help people, to serve, and to teach, then y'all be good. So trust the evolution and that acceptance piece. So number 3 is support. Like support is where it's at. Like we're human beings and connection is so freaking important. You know, so you do need your cheerleaders and mentors because accountability is key. And also support not only from others, but supporting yourself through the process and to really honor that this journey isn't considered easy. If you want it easy, you would have got a 9 to 5 and gone, okay, cool, let's just, you know, get my desk with my coffee mug, with my cute little crystal or plant, you know, like you've chosen it's a journey full of challenges and learnings, right? So support is where it's at. You know, we don't get to walk into offices and go, hey, Jenny from accounts. Like sometimes there's no Jenny, like other than people, you know, either online or if you do have, you know, a team, then amazing. But it's also recognizing you need support as a leader. And I love that. Yes, I love that. Thank you for sharing, Bella. I needed to hear these. I was cursing the challenges and isolation this week, girl, and I need gratitude and accountability for the reward, 100%. Because we can actually, it's amazing, right? Just being, because, you know, again, we're in our own heads. We're very intelligent, believe it or not. Like we are the 1%. Isn't that wild? Like, and so we have to reframe constantly to show support for ourselves and to actually go like, you're doing good. Like the old classic pat on the back or the old self hug, something I also learned. It works. Exactly. You know, so just feel it like, oh, you're doing so freaking well. Really are. And even if you can feel pauses or times of reflection, it's not a reflection of your whole journey. It's just where you're at now. And that's a reframing for the next steps moving forward. So we need support. We need our cheerleaders and we need our mentors as well. And, you know, and also to recognize that not everyone is going to support you. You know, like that's always a bummer sometimes. Like you think your nearest and dearest will give you the energy and love that you think they would for your project. And sometimes they're the worst. They're wanting to criticize, you know, the closest people could be the ones that could damage and create more doubt, which sucks. And you're not alone, okay? Like, so, but that's also recognizing that they're on their journey, you're on your journey, and in a way, it's a reflection of the courage that they may not have had to take the steps forward that you're doing. It takes a very bold and courageous woman to start her own business and then to continue to do so and show up every day, not just for others, but definitely for yourself. So congrats, you know. So support is key, cheerleaders, mentors. I'm actually very honored to be able to support women in this way, in this capacity, because you can see that it supports them, you know, their growth, their life, their lifestyle, it's not just business, you know, you actually support their well-being and them as a human being, because ultimately you're a human being with a business. So I have had the honor of supporting women. So here we go. But you know, like, so it's great because, like, you know, find your mentors, find your teachers, find your coaches, but also find the ones that align with you. I have paid thousands of dollars in regards to mentors, and I was like, okay, it was also great lessons as well. But I'm like, it doesn't also feel into it and like actually take time to really feel into a coach or a mentor that really supports you. Not like, hey, cool, I'm $1 million business maker and, you know, I'll help you, you know, scale. Holy shit, I did one and I was like, it was so overwhelming. It didn't make sense. I was like knees deep in nothing. And actually felt worse, to be honest. I felt worse. I didn't even want to jump on these calls. I was like, this just makes me feel like such an average business owner that I was like, I kind of want to give up, you know, like, so all I can say is get support in your realm that actually fuels you and doesn't take away from your energy. So that's, you know, and talking about energy, I love that you've got your coffee today, Alison. So happy for you, sis. Oh, Roger, bless him. So, you know, and that's about support is, okay, get your team in, because that's community, right? You know, we're business makers, we're entrepreneurs, and we're all about community. So we also need our community, and we need a community that's at our level, not some people that you're meeting up with and you're like, why am I coaching you? Like, I need to be inspired. I need to rise. Yeah, 100%, right? Because you're kind of like, oh gosh, it's just, it feels, you can check your energy levels after you meet with people. You're like, am I inspired or did I just lose energy? And just check and go, okay, cool, probably not the best relationship in that situation of mentorship or guidance. So just, yeah, just always energy check after catch-ups. So we're going external, and then we're also going internal. Yeah, see, that's big, right, Alison? Like, I'm replacing the 5 closest to me now to elevate myself. That has been a huge shift for me. Like, you are the 5 of your closest people, and it's so true. You know, recognize, move, and it's okay to, like, I'm not saying cut them and unfriend them on Facebook. Like, you don't have to be super savage. But just check, like, are you filling me, or you can, or cut them, block. And yeah, just also do a social media check as well. Like, who are you following? Because sometimes that's a really big lesson of like, oh, this is kind of my old identity self. And oh gosh, your doggy is so cute, Bella. It's the shagginess for me. I can't. So cute. But it's so true, right? Like, you've got your 5 closest people in human form, and then also social media. Like, some people, I'm like, why am I following you? Really do a check-in on who has allocation to your energy from social media, Facebook, anything like that. So now that we've reflected on the external, because building your personal brand, you are the person, you are the brand. So the more that they're affecting you, the more you're taking on the energy, and it's dropping your frequency. So checking in on the support, making it good support. And I'm talking like badass people around you that just light you up. And then also the inner self, right? Inner support. So, you know, we talked about earlier the values, the foundation, energy work, you know, really looking after yourself. But then also it's this voice in the head, right? That voice in your head that is just constant, and it's just won't stop. And some days that voice is savage. Like, so savage. Like, why haven't you done that yet? You should be here in your life. That it has done this. Comparison, the thief of all joy, is just slaying you constantly. Like, oh, and it's just so, it can be really repetitive. And because of that, can create so much self-doubt, so much unworthiness, and so much fear from moving forward. The boulder gets bigger, the self-talk gets worse, and boom, you're getting your 3rd coffee for the day because you just give up. You're just like, you know what? At least I'm energized, hella anxious, and I'll just blame it on that. You know, it's not really making any progress. So, my loves, I really, you know, like, now we're going into, it's the classics, but the F's for the self-belief. So F's, for me, it's short for affirmations. I call them F's. And F's are like, okay, like the juice, okay? And I've found some really good ones, and I just was like, feel free to screenshot, print this off, say it daily, because this is about receiving and feeling and loving, and then also feeling really badass. Like, personally, my favorite one is, I love waking up the universe's favorite. Like, stop. being the universe's favorite, so juicy. And it's like, yes, I love waking up the universe's favorite. Like the universe loves me so freaking much that I'm invincible. And then also with abundance, because like anything, we are constantly investing in ourselves. So we also want to really invest in, like monetary wise, having that monetary abundance flow back to us, because it's the cycle, right? So I feel FE around money is always important. Oh, I love that. The FE sounds like the awards night for affirmations. It really is. Honestly, I'm going to have to start a globe or something, like get your FE or something like that. I'll design a sculpture. So yeah, so we want to, like, there's one about being like the universe's favorite. Money returns back to me tenfold, because we want to always channel abundance. Oh, sis. So thanks for sharing. So Bella shared, I was restricting my own earning capacity by subconscious limitation from the corporate world pay structure. These are a great way to escape out. Exactly. Because we're like, if you're used to your paycheck weekly and it's big and it's delicious and it's effortless, it's for you to have, yeah, thanks, Alison, for you to pull back and have to create your own foundation is, and months will be like this and or down, and you have to, it's like the dance that you never got the routine for, and you're just making it up. And you're hoping that eventually it'll stick, It's rough. It's rough out there. However, these FEs and the self-belief will be able to just reprogram that you are the universe's favorite, that money returns back to you tenfold. I receive financial abundance effortlessly. And also receiving, I'm worthy of receiving unexpected gifts. Shit like that we don't even feel worthy of sometimes, because yeah, exactly, give it to me. Like, bring it in, because it's like, because we're working so hard and we can constantly focus on the negative, in the sense like, this hasn't come through, this hasn't. It's like, actually, no, like, people love to spoil me. And so we're starting to channel like a receiving energy instead of a depletion energy. Money door open for me, give the abundance and prosperity. This is giving me Charmed vibes. I don't know if anyone watched Charmed, but like, this is a little like spell, like money door open for me, give the abundance and prosperity. That's kind of like, I kind of love it. Anyway, feel free to like, that's very much like a spelly kind of one, and I'm so here for it. So cool, like. So feel into these as well, and then I'm open to receiving opportunities close to me with grace and ease, right? Because I feel that we can get so close-minded, we're focusing on like the lower vibrational energy, that sometimes that opportunity is right next to you and you're like, where are you? And it's just here. But we're so focused on this big audacious something that this person right here has been like, can we work together already? And you're, yeah, exactly. So it's like, I'm open to receiving opportunities close to me with ease and grace. So now you're opening up this energy that you're like, oh shit, like, let's just work together. You were either my next door neighbor or you were the coffee gal, and I've known you for years, and now like, it could be so freaking easy. And I want that for you. I want that for you all, and I want you to wake up the universe's favorite. And I want money to return back to you tenfold. And I want people to bloody spoil you. Like, how do they? Yes. And I want you to receive unexpected gifts, because you're bloody worthy of it. And you give so much, right? So let's give more of that. So write down these FEs. I want you to either practice them for 7 to 8 days daily. I read that out in 30 seconds, and then keep in touch with how your life starts to change. because you're very powerful manifestors. Plot twist. But that's also the plot twist with manifestors. Guess what? You can manifest the shit as well. You know? So yeah, plot twist. So let's always reframe. And, you know, I'm not saying, hey, let's just sugarcoat and always have this positive mindset. I'm saying like FEs for self-belief. But if you're going through some heavy, you know, shadowy kind of emotions, move through them too and give them space and time. I'm not saying sugarcoat all the emotions, because you need to feel those. Again, break down for the breakthrough, but the FEs for like constant G-ups. We need the G-ups in life. So my loves, so that's how to build your personal brand, is foundation. Really get that really grounded in with your values, you know, and your nervous system as well. Accept her, you know, evolving, accept her evolution, make the bold moves. If you wanted to do something, do it today. No time like the present. You know, like just go buy that candle, go buy the freaking hair clip, make that call, send that email, send that message via Instagram saying like, hey, Ko, I wanted to check in, see how you're going. Just make some bold moves today and support, whether it's supporting other people, getting people to support you, whether that's a mentor or a coach, but also supporting yourself, and then the internal beliefs. So FEs are super important, positive mindset as well, and recognizing the support around you, who's for you and who's not for you. And that's okay to start to evolve and find friends that are actually in your realm, and then also to distance yourself from people that are draining, and recognizing that and setting some freaking boundaries, going, you know what, I won't be attending this event, and that's okay. Just a no is a full sentence. But because we've always had to prove ourselves or over explain, you know, that's a trauma response. Hey, can't do that because, you know, Greg's toe's broken, and so I have to, you know, it's like, who cares? Just a no is a no. So yeah, so support is essential and it's key. And so okay, so how to overcome your fears, because there's a lot of fears that come up with growth, right? And this is going to be, keep it simple, but it's practice. Here you thought, she's gonna It's the drum roll, ladies. It's so easier said than done, but practice, you know, making that call, taking action, posting that post that you've been sitting on. One of my things is that personally, like, I know when I'm sitting in a space of growth, because I have a shitload of drafts in my Instagram reels, and I'm like, I haven't posted any of them. And so, you know what, I make a point to myself to post them all. I don't care. I just post them all at once. I know it's real savage. Like, I'm just like, get it done. But I have to overcome my fear, because I think, I don't think this is good enough. Anyway, long story short, some of those reels have popped, like my highest views and engagement. And I was like, here I'm going, it's not good enough. So my thing now is like, if I see videos and drafts, I'm like, are you check myself? And then I go just post them all, like, see what happens. Sometimes because I'm very aesthetic kind of girly, I post them to my reels, but not to my grid, just because I've got quite a vibe. But I post them to my reels and I just post them. And practice, taking action. And also, like, it's a good just to get it out. And then sometimes I bring them from the reels and back into the grid, depending on the vibe. But just get out of your own way. Like, you've created, and it's the artist in you, in a sense. You've created all this content, and then you're not willing to show it. But like, imagine if all the greats, like I'm talking all the greats, all the beautiful artists out there, or the magicians of the paint. Magicians of the paint. Anyway, you're welcome. Like, imagine if they didn't, imagine if they didn't share. Oh, imagine if like the writers and the poets and all the beautiful creatives didn't share. Imagine if we just stopped sharing. Like, ugh. It'll just be like channel news and like it's just not that cool. So my loves, like practice, take the action because that's going to overcome fear. That's going to make you feel like, okay, cool, I'm ready to step to the, and you know what? It's really funny. A lot of people they send the text or they do the things and then they're like, oh, that was easy. I'm like, oh, yes, just fucking do it. Yes, that's such a great point. Oh, yep. I can't wait for your posting spree, Alison. She's on. I love it. Get it, girl. And it is true, being service-based, we can forget that we have creative license as well. Because it's like, well, especially, so Bella's in the financial industry, like, so that's not very sexy. But like you're pretty sexy. So so it's also like bringing that in and make it sexy. Yeah, you do, girly. I love it. So you do have creative license and that's your point of difference as well. Yes. I'm bringing sexy back. Great song, banger. The coffee's kicking in. I love it. I'm so freaking here for this energy. And that's the other thing, right? Being around supportive women, you get the energy, you get that hype, delicious woman that's like, yes, I can do this and I am invincible and I'm going to do some brave things today. So yes, you do have creative license and it's tapping into that creativity and going, actually, that'd be quite cool. Like I can have fun with this. It doesn't have to be like serious or intensely, but at the same time, if you want to do vulnerability and you want to share something a bit personal as well, that's beautiful because people want to see the journey. I shared a bit of my evolution on this call and you got to know a bit about me that you might not have known. And it's like, wow, either you can relate or you can feel the vulnerability and the sensitivities there. So it softens your understanding of that person. So if you do have a personal share or a journey share and your why, then honestly, it's beautiful storytelling. Yeah. Oh, yes. Yeah, that's beautiful, Bella. And thank you for sharing that, needing that vulnerability to come through more. All of my clients ask to relate to my story. All of my clients ask to relate to my story more, and I don't know what blocks me from sharing it. Going to practice that with some of my posts this week. That's beautiful because that's the thing, right? People relate to people, people follow people. And that's why there's personal brands. And that's why, for example, big brands like Coca-Cola have always invested in brand ambassadors because people follow people. And I'm talking these big money ladies. Like I was doing, brand ambassadorships for 80K to 200 to 300K, depending on banks, because banks are not sexy. Banks are not sexy, but you align with a really funny comedian or you're aligned with a really great hot gal, like a television presenter, but also a sports star. They're like, wow, banks are cool. Like, I want to start an account. Like, oh, cool. Yes, I will. I'll send you the links for yes, so you can connect. Alison's our PR, not PR, sorry, our networking guru. Love you, gorgeous. Enjoy your call. So yes, so we want to practice. And vulnerability is beautiful, my loves. Do you know what I mean? Like it is the most magical potion that makes you feel seen as well in the process, we're all very, what could be so close to your heart could also be close to someone else's. So it's like vulnerability is heart talk. And sometimes we just need a little bit more heart when we're scrolling. And so I really do encourage vulnerability, because you just don't know who it resonates with and who actually needed that support, or just to feel like they're not alone in this world. It is a journey of belonging. And so the more we can share in our vulnerability, people can relate to your story more, the more that they can connect. And guess what? Connection equals really building your personal brand on a very deep level. And also attracting the tribe and the people, and they'll probably become clients because of it. Like, I'm not saying it's more of it's a beautiful, cohesive, and encouraging and gentle way to start practicing your voice, because your voice is important, your voice is worthy. Over time we get conditioned, and she's back. And we get conditioned to no show. Get it, girl. She's back.
It's tomorrow.
Oh, it's tomorrow. Well done. I love it. She's just one day ahead, baby. So it's, we just want to really drop into those vulnerability, because I was just saying before, Alison, it's really heart talk is where you share your story, because you're speaking heart to heart, which makes deeper connections, which in turn shines your light to attract people that will eventually become clients because they can relate. And we need more heart talk. So my loves, that was how we feeling? Is everyone still